be back in a bit. I'm back. Today is a rather special one. The prompt is quite dissimilar from the others, and so is the randomized challenge. You'll see as we get into it, but it's got a certain volume of peculiarity to it, and I'll explain what we're doing as we enter it as well. Oh, so I can't play music because Spotify has been weird, and Peeps are in bed, so yeah. Yes, overgrown. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is taking 3 random locations off of my Instagram from completely different places. Could be in the same country, but not in the same county. And we're going to be turning them into essentially scenes from a world where plants have taken over. And the thing is, this actually plays into a bit of lore of a world I created a couple of years ago surrounding Guy Fawkes and kind of the 5th of November and that whole sort of poem. Um, and I do believe it is still up on the channel, so if you want to check it out, it's actually linked over here. I wish I was a little bit taller. But first of all, we gotta find our places and then just save them to memory so that I can, so draw them, I guess. Robbers, they need to be very urban places, and I haven't got much. That could be an interesting one. So we've got this one here, which is an actual place in London, which I'm very excited about doing, so I'm going to try that one. That's St. Paul's Cathedral. We're going to need ones from France. Oh, this is the November projects I did a couple of years ago. Basically, this is what the word's going to tie into. Vina Urand Ravika, Tale of the Fifth. And it's essentially 5th of November within this ECU, but within this reality, everything's basically overgrown and plant-like. And there's like a full-on poem and everything that goes. I can play a little bit now. I don't know how it's going to translate via stream, but I don't know if you guys can see that, so I'll try to read it instead. The Tale of the Fifth. This dark gothic version of the classic story takes a slightly darker turn. On the 5th Urand of the 1500th Trinum, a coup was staged in order to relinquish a dictator who said they were a king from the House of Parliament. You see, in this world, they're beings much like us, yet they make up the consistency of nature and wildlife. They are people who are made of flowers, grass, mushrooms, insects, animal parts. They aren't clothing, they are part of that being. I think what I meant to write was they do not wear clothing. They're like they grow their sort of own clothing or that outer shell. Another quite interesting thing is that when one of these new beings comes to life or is born, they're not given a name by parents. They are rather born with their name almost as if it's been imprinted upon their soul. Others will know their name in due course. All names are also like ours for certain genus and species. Is the and on this one such day, a young folder stage a plan and a coup in order to overthrow the All King Fraser, who seemingly came to the throne through vicious power, forced rules upon those below them, believing the Orchidians to be the supreme race due to beauty, fluorescence, and overall cunning. However, for the namesake of such a detail, we follow one called Sisrak, who's not a real name. Okay. It was they who planned to overthrow the king by planning to set termites and appetiteless charges below the building of Parliament. However, they inevitably caught due to the king's underground stealth guard. They were sentenced to death by the very thing they had used to try and kill the king. And the remaining parts were burned outside the Parliament as citizens forcibly watched, knowing that this was a warning for anyone who ever tried to overthrow the All King. From that certain day, a poem was made, one lost in riddle, but hardly true, as the king forced it upon the people, otherwise threatening what he should do, and this is how it went. Seluv, ekvina ravita, zena astrim athruk, va sove tran ektu, vala ezu glimta vasting, du Sithrak, Fota, Fodrinum, Setu, Frega, Zega, Raixstel of Thrak, Freze, Sai, Frozesk, Threnar, Sema, Tile, Fedak, Stolok, Echo, Zevor, Fesfenak, Tila, Tivor, Selene, Mirak, Arath, Seva, Kera, Ikrak, Timak, Felun, Tira, Tulu, Tinith. Essentially, all that was, if anyone doesn't know, I've explained this on the stream before, within the CCU, which is this universe I'm building, creatures and characters continuum ultimatum, basically a bunch of different realities in a bunch of different ways, as many art styles as there are people in the world. Basically, that's the concept of it. And there's many realities, there are art styles, I guess, themes and genres that are steadily growing as we kind of move through time. So it develops alongside, I guess, our kind of reality and world in a way. But I've explained this on the stream before. There's something called LOTA in the CCU, which is, again, the world building project. It's called Language of the Ancients, and it's often used when I'm doing poems or narrative or story involving eventful stuff like this. The reason, and it's hard to explain. So what I was just saying there, it sounded like nonsense. That's because it is. They're completely made up words. They have no relation to any sort of language. But essentially, within the CCU, there's this thing called LOTA, which is Language of the Ancients, but like the initials of it. Language L of O, the T, Ancients A, LOTA. And essentially, how it works is while one is talking gibberish, they think about what they want to say, and when they're saying it to the other being, it comes across as what they're thinking about saying through the gibberish. And it's essentially a way to code messages, and it's really only used by the highest beings in the universe, which was like a later development I made. But yeah, that's essentially why that sounds like gibberish. It's LOTA, basically an ancient language within the CCU. But other than that, I thought we'd get right in. So yeah, we're going to try do that little place there, which is like a little building. We're going to try do another little place that I've got on there. And then also on top of that, I think we're going to do an overgrown dragon, because why the hell not? Or we could just do an overgrown dragon, to be honest. Problem is, I haven't really thought of a random challenge doing. That's the thing. I didn't really think of a random challenge, which is the annoying part. I could do shadow art, or I could try do... We're going to do shadow art. I've got a shadow in front of me, basically bouncing off a Samurai X figure, which is just over there. I can actually show you guys. Right, you see the shadow behind it where this light's coming off? It's making this weird sort of wolfy sort of looking face thing. I might use that as a little base for today then. Instead of doing plant-like buildings, which is not like a challenge to it, it's literally just applying this to something else. I need to actually come up with a random challenge. I was going to do like fruit dragons, but obviously that works better with other stuff. Different really hair. We could do shadow art. We could do cloud art. There is so many things I could possibly do, but because I haven't prepared a specific one, my mind is just going blank, and I can't conceptualize entirely what to do for this one. Maybe we could tie this in together. What if it's shadow art and the building together, and then on top of that, made it all overgrown? I don't know. Let's have a look at more pictures. Promise this is mostly art. There's not anything else here. I could just do like really overgrown environments and then have like a looming shadow creature, maybe. I might just do that. I've got a really cool piece of like architecture there. I might instead do this one because the other one's quite a front-on thing. Or I could combine this building and the other one, but do it in a plant-like style and have the creature as a, with shadow art as a separate day. So actually, yeah, tell you what we're going to do is essentially a concept I had for a while is that, you know, this is actually a challenge as well. It's taking the structure and concepts of reality and twisting it so that certain things are made out of different materials. I guess it would be element shifting or something like that in a way, and it's essentially, or periodic table element shifting, but basically it could be like everything's suddenly made of fur, or everything that was made of skin is now made of metal, and everything that was made of metal is now made of skin and fur. Like trees and stuff could be made of, I don't know, teeth and claws and eyes, and then like actual living things could be made like wood and stuff. So I guess that's the reality warping effect we're applying here. So what we're going to do with buildings is we're going to turn these like very overgrown, make it very dystopian, and then we'll save the shadow art for another day. Yeah, cool. Or we could do shadow art today and then leave the buildings for another day. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's do a bit of character design. Just randomize character design. We're going to do the shadow art because why the hell not? Definitely a weaker concept. Also, I have been quite busy today with uni work, and it's put a drain on my kind of sense of stuff. I have been doing drawings today as well, so this might be a bit shit, but yeah, weaker concepts applied with a just, I guess, completely random challenge in a way as well, because I haven't really planned this at all. So we'll just try our best. So I just guess we'll just get started. I don't know if I said, but we're coming up with lore for all these creatures, so like, it's gonna be an interesting one. sort of wraith, maybe. Maybe the law behind this is that possibly within a sub-reality of this other world that I've mentioned. Hello? Okay, let's scroll up. Hello, 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 welcome in. Yes, doing it's overgrown. I'm basically doing it based off shadow art. So I've got a shadow basically just off to the side of me there that I'm just doing this drawing off of Samurai X from Ninjago, the original one, but it's essentially just turned into this really overgrown wolf. And the lore behind this, I guess, is that maybe in this overgrown world, the plants are somewhat sentient in the way that they kind of are now, but found a way to move and not really reanimate, but basically everything's dead here. Everything's been turned to bones, and they're essentially reanimating the bones by connecting everything with themselves via plants. So they're almost inhabiting the bones and using them as vehicles to walk around. And what's happened is the whole world is now just essentially walking things, walking, talking things made of these plants, a new evolved species, which is essentially just a plant race that can use bones from creatures and it can merge them together, creating some horrific manifestations and some other bits too. Hello, hello, hello. Sadly, I'm almost done this evening. I did start a bit late because I had to go grab a drink and some bits because I was dying of thirst. Yeah, and then I kind of ran into a problem. The problem is this time around, I didn't really kind of plan this. I've been focused on new work today and basically just been doing write-ups and everything, but I think it's gone really well so far. And we're actually going to use a different colour for the inside of the mouth. Yeah, essentially sort of overgrown planet where the plants have inhabited bones of the previous kind of, I guess, planetary owners. Could be Earth, might be somewhere different, I don't know. Just leave that up to interpretation. And within this place, yeah, basically the straight with it. Cool. I need to get my charger real quick. Give me a sec. Otherwise, this thing's gonna die while we're streaming, and I'm pretty sure if stream cuts out, it will also not save the stream, which won't be fun at all. So, just gonna do that very quickly. Sorry for lack of music today as well. We're a bit of trouble with Spotify. There we go. Oh, thank you very much. Unfortunately, I have still more uni work to do. It is managed to write ups, but I've got all that pictures and everything. To be fair, it's not so bad. Once I get into like a rhythm when I'm writing, especially when I'm listening to specific playlists I've built on the Spotify. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working, but I'll just like click on a song and it won't play at all. And I've tried like turning off my phone, taking it back on again, and restarting the app. So I'm just gonna leave Spotify till the morning and stuff, and then try it again then. And hopefully it does work, because it's one of the only ways I can really focus while doing work. Because contrary to a lot of other peeps, yeah, music is like one of the only things that can get me to properly focus or concentrate on something, especially when it comes to writing or drawing. When it and it's usually games, movies, TV show themes, all instrumental. there are some songs with words like Footloose and um, when I wake in the morning and I look outside, I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream at the top of my lungs, what's going on? Stuff like that I can listen to while doing writing and stuff, but yeah, it's mainly that and game and movie and TV show stuff. But yeah, that's the reason there's no music today. So I don't know if I mentioned before, but a lot of these I want to take into digital at some point and like actually create. I'm thinking for Inktober next year we could actually do them in 3D as well because I have access to 3D software. No. Your puns are on point. They're yeah, good. Right. Apart from shading, I think this guy's pretty much done. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's. Like I said, you have kind of joined at the point where I'm starting to finish this thing off, but it is also kind of my fault because I did start quite late. I ordered some clay and stuff today as well because I'm guessing some of you noticed already, but the front of this book is quite plain, and what I'm planning to do is actually build like a clay thing on top of it. We are doing pumpkins this year as well, and some other little bits to do with Halloween too. So it's not just Inktober. So do be expecting some more stuff. Over here on Twitch and on the YouTube, which is linked. Yeah. I mean, again, I just need to do the shading, to be honest. I might write some like notes about this and like add some runic bits. I actually know how to write in runes, like fully, like write and understand and read stuff. I actually have a diary which is just basically all in runes, and obviously only I can read it, and obviously people that can read and write runes as well can read it too. But it is basically just a notebook full of Nordic runes, and nobody else can understand what it says because, well, it's in runic language. But I taught myself to write it when I was, well, I think I was just bored one day, to be honest. Decided to learn how to read and write in runes. It's kind of fun, actually. You can even do like little drippy bits here for like water and stuff. Again, not the strongest concepts. I still think it's turned out really well. So, yeah, okay. Basically, what I'm going to write now in runes is plant life reanimating bones. These are specifically the HTDYD runes as well. Will not go. I made a little note. Where did I put my little... There we go. And then reanimating bones. You can kind of see how the runes somewhat translate across into like the actual letters, but yeah. Have a good night too. Right, we're gonna end it there then. Yeah, okay. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening, morning, night, day, afternoon, wherever you're in the world. Everyone is welcome here as always. This has been October 10, kind of a bit of disaster and a loss of concept, but hope you all had a wonderful time. I'll see you all soon, hopefully for a stronger concept tomorrow, and hopefully I will actually see painted some of the pages, because we're running out of browner ones. But yeah. Also, my socials are linked over here, as well as my art station, which is where some of my uni stuff's been going. And all the time lapses for Inktober are going to be over on the YouTube, which is linked over here, as well as the socials. And yeah, YouTube's also where the VODs go up for all of the streams, so feel free to check them out whenever. Other than that, see you later, and yeah, as said, good night, have a good one, goodbye.